What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Sorry I didn't post a video last week. I was busy working. This week we're going to do a video review. I'm going to try to do two, but at least I'm going to do one today. I'm going to talk about Overwatch today. Overwatch is an online multiplayer game published by Blizzard. It's a game I've played a lot, and I'm sure a lot of you have played it. It seems to be very popular. We're going to talk about the premise of Overwatch, then I'm going to tell you what I think about Overwatch, and then we might talk about future projects at the end. Alright, well, let's talk about the Overwatch format. Overwatch, at least a typical match of Overwatch, puts you in a 6v6 online multiplayer. You have three classes to choose from. There's damage, tank, and support. Support gives you the healers. Really, that's it. That's pretty much all support is healers. Tanks, obviously, your tanks, and then damage. There's like 20 different damage characters, and there's a grand total of like 8 supports and tanks combined. Um, Overwatch is a very, very team based game because you have to fill a comp and then try to come up with a strategy to either capture a point or an objective or push a payload. And it requires a lot of teamwork and working together. It's really hard to do that if people don't have mics, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. Overwatch does have some like branch off game modes like team deathmatch, and like there's like weird ones they do like Doctor Junkenstein's Castle or whatever the heck that is. I've played that before. It was terrible. Um, yeah, Overwatch is a very team based game, and they make it very, very hard to work as a team. So I appreciate Blizzard making it as hard as they possibly can to play this game, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Alright, so just like I do in most videos, I'm going to start out talking about things I like, and then we'll jump into things I do not like. Overwatch, for the most part, if you're playing with a group of friends, Overwatch can be pretty fun. The battles get pretty chaotic. Really, the best way to describe this game is everyone tends to play objectively for about 2 minutes till it becomes an all-around clusterfuck. That's basically what this game is. Battles are pretty fun, not gonna lie, as long as you're not getting just obliterated. There are some actually pretty unique character designs too. I just appreciate the artisticness behind some of these characters, and just some of those skill shots that some of the characters have are so satisfying to land. So, for the most part, this game's actual gameplay is pretty good. I'm not going to deny that for a second, but here in a minute, probably about now-ish, I'm going to start talking about things I don't like, and then I'll summarize it all at the end, because as good as this game's gameplay is, there is a lack of content. Like, I don't have much to talk about as far as what this game offers, because there's pretty much one game mode. You just play online. And I might be less upset about that if I didn't pre-order this and pay $60 for it. I paid $60 for a game that doesn't have a campaign, really has one game mode, at least consistently only has one game mode. There's other game modes they do occasionally, but like it's one game mode and the game's $60. Like I'd feel more satisfied with this game if I paid like $30 for it. This game is worth $30, but it's sure as hell not worth 60, at least in my opinion. But we'll talk more about that because I'm about to get into the things I do not like, and then I'll summarize everything at the end. Alright, we're going to jump into this. This game has a couple fundamental flaws. Fundamental flaw number one being, and I guess this isn't really the game's fault, but I don't know how it got to be this way. This game has the worst player base of any game that I've ever played in my entire life. Meaning, like, if you don't have a full team of 6, whoever your random is will be trash every single time. Like, I swear that Blizzard goes to a nearby dumpster and grabs a garbage bag out and just throws a couple of hands on that garbage bag. And those are the teammates you get in this game. I don't know how that's possible, but I honestly don't think I've literally ever had a good random in this game. And it really ruins the experience. Another fundamental flaw this game has is there's way, way too many damage characters. Like, no tanks and no supports. So everyone wants to play damage anyways because people love to do damage, and I guess that's just what's more fun for them. And then B, there's no like good. Well, I mean, there are some good tanks and supports, but there's not a deep enough pool to make it reasonable to choose tanks or supports. Like I'm a support main, and I pretty much play support every single time. Just because I actually want to like compete and win, and to fill the comp, I have to play support and occasionally play tank every time, because you'll have four people all lock in damage. So if you really want a chance to win, someone has to play tank and support, and to me that's a fundamental flaw with this game. One thing I could suggest this game to do, and they're trying to do this now because they did put in role queues, but the game should automatically assign you a role when you queue in to a match. That way you're forced to play it, and then you can set your preferences from damage, support, tank based off like a 1, 2, 3, like 1 being the role you want to play the most, 3 being the role you want to play the least. In every match you don't get that role, you should have a higher percent chance to get the role you want in the next match. But I mean, they're trying it. They're doing a role queue, so kudos to them for that. But it gets to be ridiculous trying to play this game online because I mean that's all you could do with this game, and just having just the most god awful teammates pick damage every single time. It needs to be fixed. That's why I haven't played this game in like 2 months. I used to play it a lot. I'm kind of over it. I don't hate this game. Actually, for the most part, I like it. But like that is a huge flaw this game has. And then one last fundamental flaw that's not as bad is some of the characters are unbalanced. Like I'll say this, like Mei isn't necessarily too overpowered, but I would say she's a little overpowered, and she's also not fun to play against. Like she actively detracts fun from the game when you're matched up against her. So I don't know if Blizzard is going for that, like they want to put characters in the game that make the game less fun for other people, but they succeeded if that's what they're trying to do with Mei. Mei's not the only one, but there shouldn't be characters in a game that make the game anti-fun. You want the game to be fun. But that's all I'm going to talk about for what I dislike. I'm going to give the game a rating. I'm going to rate this game 58 out of 100. As always, I rate my games from 0 to 100, 100 being the best, 0 being the absolute worst. This game, I'll give a 58. Not terrible, but there's some definite flaws that are pretty hard to overlook. But that's going to about wrap up this video. Remember to rate the video, comment the video. I'd love to have you guys subscribe. Tell me what you want me to cover next. And that'll about do it. See you guys. Have a good one.